Hey everyone. So just recently, we just lost a sister by the name of Janelle Green Smith. Black woman, midwife. She passed in childbirth. I don't know much about her, but I know when I read her story, it was very hurtful, because I just not too long ago had a child in the hospital, and faced the challenges of the what ifs. You know what I mean? Giving birth, has its risk no matter what. But I think that going in the hospital increases those risks, and it increases those risks most definitely for women of color, black women in particular, and babies of color, black babies in particular. And the reason why those risks are increased is because of the lack of adequate care and professionalism when it comes to us. And so this is not to speak negatively towards every medical professional, because you do have medical professionals who give the utmost care to all of their patients, no matter their ethnicity, no matter their race. But you do have a large number of so-called professional, which I would not call them professional because they're not doing their job, especially when it comes to folk outside of, their race and ethnicity. But yeah, we lost this dear sister. I don't know her, but her story is very familiar, because, like I said, a lot of us black women had the potential to lose our lives when we go into these hospitals, or we have the potential in childbirth to pass, because of course things happen, but it is greatly increased when we go into these hospital facilities. And this is something that she knew, and so she dedicated her life, she dedicated herself to becoming a midwife, to better us, to help us. And sadly, she lost her life, giving birth. And so I was compelled to get up here and speak towards this, because I just think about how that could have been me. I just had a baby, and this is something that stayed on my mind the entire duration of my pregnancy. Once I knew that I was going to deliver in a hospital. And this is also the reason why, and I'm speaking to medical professionals right now, in case you didn't know, which I'm pretty sure you have to know, this is the reason why when you get us coming into your facilities, this is the reason why we behave the way we do. This is the reason why we are not very trusting. The reason why we don't just comply. Because we are faced with, for one, not knowing who truly takes their profession serious enough to give us the adequate care. But we are faced with being, the ones who have to face mortality. This is why. So you give us, instead of giving us side eyes when we come to your facilities and we don't want to comply, or we take our time to make informed decisions, instead of treating us like we're criminal, you know what I mean? It's time for you to sit back and pay attention. You know what I mean? Do the research. Take the time to think clearly about what is going on out here. This is why. So this is not the time to treat us like we're criminal. This is not the time to not have understanding of why we behave the way we are when we come into your facilities. Right? Look at what we're up against. We don't feel safe. That's what's going on. And this is what has been proven. It is a fact that the mortality rate for Black women, for Black babies, is the highest. And you have an educated sister, such as Miss Green, very educated, lost her life in childbirth. This is why we behave the way we behave. And the reason why I'm speaking about it so passionately, because I'm hurt and I'm tired of it, but also from my experiences in my last pregnancy. And not in giving birth, because like I expressed before, I had a very exceptional team that I'm very grateful for. But even during my when I gave birth and my child had to go to the NICU, my experience in the NICU, my experience, not my child, because I do have to be honest, I feel like my son had an exceptional NICU team as well. But when it came to me, I feel as though I was given the side eye a lot in the NICU, and I feel like I was treated in a unprofessional way. I'm not going to say the entire time by everyone, because that wasn't the case, but by certain officials, yes. You know what I mean? And so there should have been no reason why during my pregnancy I felt as though I had to switch OBs 3 times. I was at 3 different practices because of unprofessionalism and feeling unseen, unheard. 3 times. There should be no reason why anyone in their pregnancy has to deal with that, has to go through that. It's already enough that we have to deal with the shenanigans of just day-to-day life. You know what I mean? But now you're here creating this life. Not only do you have to deal with the stressors of life, you have to deal with stressors in your pregnancy, because you're dealing with people who are supposed to be professionals, supposed to love what they do and want to help. But for some reason, when they get to certain individuals, their professionalism goes out the door. It's time's out for that. Like, we're tired of having to worry about whether or not we are going to meet our child when we give birth. Whether we're going to see our family members again. Because this is the stuff that I dealt with. I didn't talk much about it. I mean, I started talking about it towards the middle and end of my pregnancy with certain folk. But for the most part, people didn't know. Especially loved ones, because I didn't want them to. Because I didn't want them worrying, because that would worry me even more. But this is what I dealt with. This is what I dealt with. Especially once I started seeing the unprofessionalism. You know what I mean? And the biases. When I went into the hospital this last pregnancy, I dealt with wondering whether or not I was going to make it home. I dealt with wondering, am I going to meet my child? Is my child going to meet me? I didn't talk about it, but I dealt with it. It was very traumatizing. So much so to the point that I did have to wind up talking to somebody professionally because of what was going on in the medical establishment. So I just want to get up here and I want to shine some light. This is why we behave the way we behave when we come to y'all for quote unquote health care. Because we have to face the possibilities of this. Like this dear sister right here. Right here. Well educated. Life is gone. Life is lost. We're tired of this. Unnecessary. So stop giving us the side eye when we come to y'all establishments. This is why we feel unsafe.